Okay, if you do not have a period, you do not have to stay for this. But has any other person who is going to stay along for this talk experienced this with a doctor? This is my first time because I've been working out and doing my stuff, preparing my life just to live an abundant life. Working out multiple times a week, doing more like just mindful eating, actually eating stuff instead of just drinking my calories. So that's great. But it affected my menstrual cycle. So I went from having a 3-day menstrual cycle to like 6 to 7 days, which is crazy. And I was like in tunnel vision. Like people were asking me like, am I okay? Like several times a day. And they're like, Shanti, I just feel like you're not the same. And I'm like, I feel it because I was mentally and physically just in distress. Like I couldn't even go to the gym like towards the end of the week. I just couldn't even, I just slept. So I reached out to my doctor and she already has me on like 50,000 units of like vitamin D. And I'm just like thinking, I'm losing so much blood. I'm just not doing well. If this gets worse, like for the next time, can I come in for like an ultrasound or something? Then her and the nurse both take turns individually gaslighting me. So the nurse was like, you need to wait. And didn't even ask my doctor, just said, you need to wait 3 cycles. And I said, I need to experience that for 3 cycles? I can't. Like how bad it was for me, like especially going from 3 to like 7 days and like heavy flow the whole time when it's usually light. I was in distress. And it like was really affecting my mental. So then I was like, well, can you ask my doctor, if it is worse before then, if it's okay if I come and get a recommendation for ultrasound. The doctor then tries to explain to me a period when I'm one of the girls who's had my period since the 2nd grade because of the whole like cows being injected with milk thing. There was like back in the early 2000s, multiple girls, it triggered them to start going to puberty earlier. So then they developed like their chest area periods. It was a whole thing, and they restricted the hormones you can put into cow's milk because it was being absorbed by little girls. Yeah, because they were like shooting the cows who were young so that they can start milking. But yeah, so I said, I've had my period since 2nd grade. I've lost weight as a child. I've done this and that. So I understand if you're trying to say it's insulin resistance. I don't have diabetes. But, when you're big, they just all assume. And she basically just tried to make me feel stupid and gaslit me and said, like, well, other girls deal with 7 days usually. Like, I don't care. It's abnormal to me to deal with that. I'm miserable. So instead of taking what I'm saying, you're just gaslighting me.